Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will narrate an exciting thriller story written by me. I hope you guys would love it. So, without wasting any more time, let's begin. Prologue. The Tragedy. 8 years ago, a young couple went for a holiday trip in a taxi. With music playing, it was very soothing and peaceful. But everything changed in a fraction of a second. Suddenly, a truck came from the front and the taxi collided with it. And in a flash, their dreams were shattered. Breaking news: both husband and wife die in a car accident. Their families couldn't believe this. Both the husband and wife's families couldn't bear the tragedy and decided to leave the city to escape the painful memories of this ruthless incident. Chapter 1: The Three Friends. Coming to the present in an unknown place, three friends, Dr. Ilaya, Engineer Mohan, and Police Officer Ramesh, shared dreams of making the world a better place to live. Their bond grew stronger through late night chit chats and the belief that they could conquer any challenge. Little did they know that how intertwined their destinies would soon become. In the chaotic emergency of the hospital, Dr. Ilaya worked tirelessly. She believed that in emergencies, it was not about who arrived first, but who needed help most urgently. One day, an unconscious young boy was rushed in. As Dr. Ilaya began her examination, she had no idea how drastically her life was about to change. Chapter 2: The Discovery. Dr. Ilaya ordered several investigations and began treatment. Upon reviewing the imaging reports, Dr. Ilaya was in shock. Embedded in the boy's body was a device which should not have been there. One doctor proposed immediate surgery, but Dr. Ilaya felt suspicious and conducted further imaging with the high tech 3D scans to know the internal structure of the device and sent all the information to her engineer friend Mohan. After a few hours, Mohan called back to tell the shocking news. The device has a countdown timer, and even if moved slightly, would trigger fatal consequences, said Mohan. He told that 4 days were left on the timer. After that, the boy would die. He suspected a remote might exist to disable it. On hearing all this, the whole hospital was in panic. Doctors insisted on referring the boy to avoid bad reputation for the hospital. But Dr. Ilaya argued that abandoning the child was not an option. Patients choose doctors, but doctors cannot choose their patients, she declared. Chapter 3: Time for Action. I will do everything I can to save this child, announced Dr. Ilaya. She requested all the doctors and the medical staff to keep this patient's information confidential, otherwise, it would create a big mess. After thinking about the criticality of the situation, Dr. Ilaya called her police officer friend Ramesh and explained everything to him. He began to investigate the circumstances surrounding the boy's condition. So, doctors, engineers, and police began their co op mission to save the child. Dr. Ilaya asked her engineer friend Mohan if he could replicate the device in 3 days. Mohan, understanding the urgency, agreed to try his level best. On the other hand, police officer Ramesh couldn't gather much leads until the boy regained consciousness. Chapter 4: The Plan. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye as Mohan worked tirelessly. And yes, he created the fake device, while the boy miraculously regained consciousness. Ramesh interviewed him, but the boy could only vaguely recall the last location he remembered. Now, only a few hours were left before the countdown reaches zero. They had to do everything quickly, Otherwise, it would be too late. Dr. Elia handed over the fake device to Ramesh and together planned their next move. Ramesh, secretly carrying the fake device, went to the suspected location. To his surprise, the fake device came within the range of the remote, thus got paired with it, and the original device now must have been disabled, they assumed. Chapter 5, Time to Win. As soon as Dr. Elia heard this news, she gathered her surgical team for an emergency operation. They had to do it before the culprits understood the current situation. As they prepared for the surgery, there was anxiety, tension, and silence enveloped the room. Finally, the operation began. Everyone held their breath as they approached the real device. Heartbeats could be heard in the background, and with a deep sigh of relief, they successfully removed it. The surgery conducted under the cover of darkness was a success, and the boy was saved. The police quickly went to the suspected location, and thus the culprits behind this conspiracy were caught. Obviously, it was the time to celebrate. The three friends met once again face to face and parted overnight. A happy ending. But is it really the end? Dr. Elia didn't know what fate had in store for her. Chapter 6, A Twist of Fate. 25 years later, the young boy had now become a renowned doctor. Fate had turned the tables. Dr. Elia, in need of medical attention, visited him. Do you recognize me, ma'am? He asked with a hint of nostalgia in his voice. Dr. Elia replied, No, I just visited you as you have the expertise which is required to treat my medical condition. He replied, Mom, you treated me 25 years ago. Time stopped at that very moment. Dr. Elia, utterly confused, and her heart raced. She couldn't speak anything and just uttered, Did you just say mom? Chapter 7, The Past. Hidden in the shadows of the past, the truth finally came to light. In the very beginning, there was a breaking news about the demise of a young couple in a car accident. Actually, it was not just an accident. It was all plotted by the enemies who wanted to kill the couple due to their professional success and personal issues. At that time, the husband had died, but no one knew that the wife was pregnant at that time and had survived. The fake news was published so that it would help the mother and her baby to escape from their pursuers. But due to that accident, the mother lost her memory. Knowing nothing about the incident or the existence of her child, she now started her life afresh and decided to become a doctor. During this journey, she became friends with Mohan and Ramesh. Meanwhile, her child, raised in an orphanage, carried a photo of his parents in his pocket. He never knew that his mother was alive. When the boy turned 8, the enemies resurfaced as they somehow discovered about his existence. So now they planned to complete their partly successful mission. They kidnapped him and implanted that device, leading to the events in the hospital. The boy at that time felt a strange familiarity with the kind doctor who had saved him, but couldn't recognize her. That day, he had decided to become a doctor just like Dr. Elia. Epilogue, The Full Circle. 25 years ago, I couldn't see it, but now I understand, he said with a smile on his face. Your necklace, your hairstyle, your innocent yet slightly wrinkled face. It's all there as in that photo. In that emotional moment, tears overflowed and they hugged each other. Now the roles had reversed. The child who was once treated by his mother was ready to treat her. The full circle of fate was complete. Karma had played its role, thus forging an unbreakable bond between them. A mother and a son were reunited. Dr. Elia, Engineer Mohan, and Police Officer Ramesh realized that their paths had intertwined in ways they could never have imagined. Their bravery and commitment to duty had not only saved a child but also reunited a family. With their hearts full, everyone stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their mission to protect and heal. Truly, the champions of justice.